Good morning. Already we have studied the very important basic law in supply analysis. So its name is the law of supply. That supply introduced or explained by well-known economist. That name is Dr. Alfred Marshall in his famous book Principles of Economics, was published in 1890. So this is the highlight of introduction, then statement, then explanation of the law of supply, explanation with the help of table or schedule, and explanation with the help of diagram or curve. So main highlight of table or schedule, so that table or schedule indicate there are direct relationship between the price and quantity supply, and also the main feature of supply SS supply curve is, so the slope of supply curve is upward from left to right. Any other, the slope of supply curve is the positive because of there are direct relationship between the price and quantity supply. Okay, then we have studied very important assumptions to the law of supply in last lecture. There are 7 assumptions to the law of supply, and then the law of supply is depend upon that supply, depend upon that assumption. So we get the experience of the law of supply that 7 assumptions remain constant. There is no change in any condition like weather condition, government policy. Okay, so prices of other goods, no change. Okay, so no change in technique of production, no change in cost of production. That's why we get the total experience to the law of demand. And so what is the exceptions to the law of supply? Means that situation against to the law of supply presented by Dr. Alfred Marshall. Okay, so what is the main exceptions to the law of supply? So the first exception is agricultural goods. Which goods? Agricultural goods. Okay, so in simple language, agricultural products or agricultural goods. So what is the main meaning? So the law of supply, the law of supply cannot be applied for agriculture product or goods because they produce only once in a year or specific seasons. That's why when price of that goods increases but supply decreases. Okay, What supply means? So that types of commodities or goods supply decreases with increasing in price. That is the rare exception to the law of supply in case of agricultural goods. Okay, so the law of supply cannot be applied for agricultural goods because the agricultural goods depend upon the weather condition, natural climatic condition. Okay, so the law of supply cannot be applied for agricultural product because they produce only once in a year or specific seasons. Okay, so that's why when prices of that goods increases, but supply cannot be increases. This is the rare exception to the law of supply. So what is the statement of supply? When price rises, supply also rises, and when price falls, supply also falls. But the agricultural goods, that types of the goods, against to the law of supply because the law of supply cannot be applied for agricultural products because they produce only once in a year or specific seasons. Because the agricultural products depend upon agricultural goods production depend upon climatic condition, means weather condition or natural condition. That's why so that types of goods supply increases with decreasing price. Is that clear? Okay, it means when price rises then supply cannot be rises because the agricultural products supply depend upon the weather condition or natural condition. So second exception to the law of supply, need for cash. Need for cash. Okay, when seller urgently need for cash, then seller supply more at lower price, and then opposite or when seller not need cash urgently, then seller supply less at higher price. That is the real exception to the law of supply. Need for cash. Need for cash. When seller wants or when seller urgently need for cash, at that time seller supply more at lower price, and when seller cannot need cash urgently, seller supply less at higher price. एक गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा की या ठिकाणी आपण एक्सेप्शन टू द लॉ ऑफ सप्लाय बसत असताना पहिला पॉइंट स्टडी केलेला आहे ॲग्रिकल्चर प्रॉडक्ट और ॲग्रिकल्चर गुड्स, म्हणजे शेतीमधून जे प्रोडक्शन होतात कोणतं असेल बघा, गहू असेल, ज्वारी असेल, बाजरी असेल, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे व्हेजिटेबल्स असतील तर ते येण्यासाठी विशिष्ट कालावधी लागतो, पाऊस लागतो, तो सीझन लागतो. मग काही प्रोडक्शनला 40 दिवस लागतात, काहीला 3 महिने लागतात, काहीला 6 महिने लागतात, अशाने मग त्यांची प्राइस जरी इन्क्रीज झाली, सपोज इन्क्रीज झाली तर त्यांचा सप्लाय आपल्याला प्रमाणापेक्षा जास्त करता येत नाही. ओके, आणि देन नीड फॉर कॅश. तर एक लक्षात ठेवा की जो प्रोड्युसर असतो, कोण असतो, जो प्रोड्युसर असतो त्या प्रोड्युसरला जर हवा तेवढा प्रॉफिट मिळाला तर तो कमी किमतीला सुद्धा जास्त वस्तूची विक्री करतो. आणि कधी असं काय वेन सेलर अर्जंटली नीड फॉर कॅश, त्याला जर रोख रकमेची जास्त गरज असेल तर तो थोडी किंमत करून सप्लाय जास्त करतो. आणि रोख रकमेची गरज जर जास्त नसेल तर तो काय करतो, रोख रकमेची गरज असेल तर तो काय करतो बघा की सेलर सप्लाय लेस म्हणजे कमी करतो, जरी प्राइस जास्त असेल म्हणजे जास्त किमतीची तो काय करतो वाट पाहतो. सो the exceptions to the law of supply number 2, need for cash. When seller urgently need for cash, so at that time seller supply more at lower price, and hence seller not urgently need for cash, so seller supply less at higher price. That is the real exceptions, or that is the against to the law of supply. It is called as exceptions to the law of supply. The first point is agriculture goods or agriculture products, and second is need for cash, and third perishable goods. त्याला आपण नाशवंत वस्तू असं म्हणू शकतो. Perishable goods like fruits, then flowers, vegetables, then milk, then fish. Okay, it is called as a types of perishable goods. Means त्याला आपण नाशवंत वस्तू म्हणू शकतो. मग फळे असतील, फुले असतील, भाजीपाला असेल, दूध असेल आणि मासे असतील. So in case of perishable goods, the law of supply cannot be applied. In case of perishable goods like fruits, flowers, vegetables, milk and fish, because at that time in case of perishable goods, their goods stock and supply is equal. Stock and supply is equal means when price rises or falls, there is no impact on supply of that commodity. There is no impact on supply of that commodity. It means so perishable goods. It means in case of perishable goods, when price of that commodity like means goods, fruits, flowers, vegetables, meat, fishes, the price of commodity increases. Okay, the supply cannot be increases, and so price of commodity falls, supply also increases. Because of it is called as the perishable goods. Means when price of that commodity falls but supply of that commodity increases, it is called, why? Because that type of commodity is known as perishable goods. So when price rises or falls in case of perishable goods, there is no impact on supply of that commodity, because fruits, flowers, vegetables, milk and fish, that types of commodities, stock and supply is equal. Stock and supply is equal. So when price falls of that commodity but supply increases or rises because of the stock and supply are equal. Okay, so that is the end of it. Means बघा, नाशवंत वस्तूच्या बाबतीमध्ये हा जो दी लॉ ऑफ सप्लाय हा आपण त्याचा अनुभव घेऊ शकत नाही, त्याचा एक्सपिरियन्स घेऊ शकत नाही. का? कारण या वस्तू कशा आहेत, नाशवंत आहेत, म्हणजे ते ड्युरेबल नाही, जास्त काळ त्या टिकून राहत नाही. लक्षात आलंय? जास्त काळ त्या टिकून राहत नाही. म्हणून जर बाजारात किंमत कमी असेल तरी सुद्धा त्या वस्तूचा पुरवठा जास्त करावा लागतो आणि किंमत जास्त असेल तरी सुद्धा पुरवठा तो म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचा बदल होत नाही, कारण ती वस्तू आपल्याला प्रमाणापेक्षा जास्त दिवस स्टॉक किंवा साठा करून ठेवता येत नाही. ओके, सो third point, perishable goods or product. So there are three exceptions to the law of supply. Already we have studied. So first is agricultural products, agricultural goods. The second need for cash. Third, perishable goods are very important exceptions to the law of supply. In the law of demand, very important exceptions to the law of demand is the Gibbons paradox, and in very important exception to the law of supply, its name is number 4, supply of labor. Supply of labor, very important exception to the law of supply. In case of wage rate, it means wage rate increases means rises, increases, supply of labor also increase. So supply of labor also means hours of work. Okay, in case of wage rate increases, supply of labor also increases, but in certain point of wage rate increases, supply of labor. Why by student?
हो. Okay.
That's why supply curve moves y-axis. It is known as backward bending supply curve. Backward bending supply curve of labor. So a very important exception to the law of supply. Look at that. So number 4 exception to the law of supply, its name is supply of labor. Okay, so in simple language, in case of wage rate increases, supply of labor also increases. That is the situation 100% related to the law of supply. Which line? This line. Okay, when wage rate increases, supply of labor also increases. Wage rate increases, supply also increases. Wage rate decreases, supply also labor decreases. But in certain point of wage rate increases, supply of labor decreases, because worker give the preference for the leisure after receiving higher amount of wages. That's why supply curve moves y-axis. It is known as backward bending supply curve. Which? Backward bending supply curve. So it is called as the backward bending supply curve moves the y-axis. Okay, तर थोडंसं याच्यामध्ये मराठीमध्ये लक्षात ठेवायचं बघा, एक्सेप्शन टू द लॉ ऑफ सप्लाय मध्ये की जो कामगार बऱ्याच ठिकाणी काम करत असतात आणि ते कामगार काम करत असताना सुरुवातीला कुटुंबाच्या आणि इतर सर्व प्रकारच्या गरजा पूर्ण करण्यासाठी कुटुंबाच्या आणि इतर सर्व प्रकारच्या गरजा So for leisure after receiving higher amount of the wages आपण बाकीचा भाग आपण नंतर बघू.